I used to play Terraria a long time ago on my phone. I found it fun, destroying every mob with melee. Typical stuff, you know. Fast forward all these years and now I'm playing it on PC. I played a few worlds on normal and expert mode and did a calamity playthrough with some other people. And then it hit me. I have never played Mage or Ranger whatsoever. So today I'm going to be playing Mage for the first time. Before we get into the video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you enjoy videos like this. First things first, Mage is very different to the other classes in Terraria, since it uses mana to actually use most of its weapons. What does this mean? It means that early game is kinda tedious, because not only do you have to collect stars, which you can only do at night, but also you gotta be weaponless for some of the early game progression, which to be honest, it's not that bad. For me at least, I don't have a problem with it. But the first thing you should actually do as Mage is to find a weapon, which leads us to the mines. The first weapon you would usually get is probably one of the gem staves, and after a while of exploring, I found some amethyst, which can be used to craft, I think, the worst out of the gem staves. We collected some copper and then we crafted our first weapon. Despite its terrible damage, it's better than nothing. Anyway, I kept exploring into the mines because I was actually trying to find a better stave. You know what, I'm not even going to drag it out. The amethyst staff turned into an emerald staff, and then the emerald staff turned into a diamond staff. And then I started to make my arena and then tried to fight the Eye of Cthulhu. The only thing was that I didn't have any Hermes. Even though you don't really need Hermes, I need it because I got a skill issue. So I did actually get it into second phase, which of course was easy. But I probably should have hooked more, and then I probably could have beat it first time, but nah. However, I got to max HP and bought the rolling skates from the traveling merchant. And again, I fought the Eye of Cthulhu, which was an absolute cakewalk because he could not touch me whatsoever. I did have trouble hitting him, but it's all good. The next boss I set my eyes on was the Eater of Worlds, so I made an arena and spawned him in. I think this is when I realized I didn't have any mana potions because I deadass had to just stop attacking because I didn't have any mana left. And although the gem staves do have good piercing projectiles, it did take pretty long to get it down to less than half HP. I did end up, however, dying to it, but it's fine. Immediately next though, the goblin army decided to spawn, which was pretty easy with the staves, and that's when I realized. To get a better loadout, I got a celestial magnet from the floating islands, and I finally bought some mana potions. I went into the jungle so I could try and make some jungle armor, and then I also went into the hell so I could try and get a demon scythe. I didn't just look for a demon scythe, I also made a hell arena for the wall of flesh, and eventually I finally got a demon scythe. The next thing I did was actually go into the desert biome and try get the thunder zapper, which I could not find. But I did find this Bowser looking shell that I haven't seen before. Honestly, probably one of the coolest things I've seen pre-hard mode. I also did find a bass statue and a heart statue that I would use later. I finally went back to the corruption to get my revenge, and in doing so I found out I could actually just skip the Eater of Worlds because there was enough scales to make the pickaxe, but I refought him anyway, of course. And let me tell you now, this worm got absolutely shredded. The demon scythe made this guy way too easy. Next up was Skeletron. I'm not gonna lie, I had trouble with this guy. Let me run you through the timeline. I died, expanded my arena, made some meteor shit, died again, until this attempt at Skeletron. For most of the fight, I used the space gun so I could actually hit the Skeletron's hands, and using the Featherfall potion and skate made dodging the hands very easy. I killed both hands and now it was second phase, which is way easier than the first. All you gotta do is circle around him and then walk straight. Repeat the steps once again, and yeah, it's that easy. I went into the dungeon and got an Aqua Scepter and made some pretty important mage accessories, which leads us to our next boss fight, and so I spawned in the wall of flesh. My initial strat was to just use the demon scythe since it's pretty good for this boss overall, probably one of the best. The only problem that I had with this boss was mainly my actual arena. The way that I built them was so bad. I had to keep dodging these lasers for my life, and it even came to the part where it wasn't even long enough, and much like the Skeletron fight, I died, expanded the arena, died again and again and again. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty mad. But guess what happened on the next attempt? I died.
Dude, when are you going to lock in? You died so many times now. You got more skill issue than my mom, bruh.
Man, shut the fuck up. I'm locking in now.
In the normalest way possible.
Shut the Finally, we were in hard mode. So I got straight to work and mined up the hard mode ores, because I'm a good boy.
Now think about what you've done.
A corrupt mimic decided to spawn in. I kept leading it on like a dog, and the lovely clinger staff dropped, which was very nice. Once I got all my adamantite gear, I went to obtain some fairy wings. I found out that I didn't have a surface halo. Never in my years of playing has this occurred to me, so I had to use some purification seeds to make one. Oh yeah, by the way, I haven't had titanium in 20 million years. I've gone through like 20 worlds. Where the hell is this? I want titanium, bruv. After that, I was kinda low on souls, so I decided to make both a farm in the underground halo and corruption, which turned out to be effective since I got the halo biome key in a few minutes of using it. And then I fashioned myself a good old meteor staff. I also tried to do some destroyer strats because, you know, I ain't trying to have a hard time, okay? Once my halo biome finally expanded, I slaughtered many fairies, and is a truffle a mushroom? Nah. Anyway, the fairy dust and the wyvern souls fused together to create some fairy wings. This is when I actually decided to start on my corruption farm, but midway of doing it, I actually got lazy and just decided to do it in hell, and another corrupt mimic decided to spawn in. I swear, this never happens on normal playthroughs. Well, to me at least. Also, using some of the cursed flames I got from clingers, I crafted the cursed flame. Yes, you heard that right. And after a whole bundle of preparation, it was finally time to fight the mech bosses.
Oh no!
Yeah, that was rough. My weapon repertoire was in need of an upgrade, so I crafted this cool sky fracture. I also learned how to wire up some statues for some extra health and mana, because if there's one thing I'd at least do in this game, it's to learn new techs. Of course I tried trying, because never say never. But then I said something so incorrigible, unforgivable. Little did I know, it'd spark a catalyst of endless growth and progression. Oh yeah, and I also got a corruption key as well. I'm never this lucky, man. I'm just happy it dropped, even though I'm not gonna fuse it.
Hold up. You seriously expect us to believe this? Even I am not this lucky.
Yeah, bro, you saw me make the world. No, put it down. I set up a nurse home just in case, and suddenly had a change of heart. I went to the Hallow and fought Queen Slime, where the meteor staff was very effective. After flying left and right for a bunch of times, I finally broke the core of the Queen Slime. And of course, it was time to refight the mech bosses again. And although I kept dying, it was on this dying attempt where I adapted, and I really did understand it now. Hell yeah. Next up was Plantera, so I made a pickaxe and started mining for some chlorophyte. I made some changes to my accessories and started building my Plantera arena, which I eventually made bigger because of course I made it too small, which took no time, and I spawned in Plantera. This Plantera fight was just like any other. First I tried to lead it down and then proceeded to do donuts around it. This repeated all the way into its second phase, since Plantera's projectiles are pretty easy to dodge, and while shooting him I switched between the Sky Fracture and the Cursed Flame to do some damage. And then it was second phase, and I switched to the Cursed Flame so I could hit his little underlings. Honestly, the weirdest part about this fight is Plantera's pathing is deadass confusing. I don't know whether or not it's gonna jump on me. Anyway, I kept dodging his little underlings, which was pretty easy, and I really didn't have any major trouble in this fight, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he got super close to hitting me a bunch of times, but he never really did any like major damage. It got super low, so I kept hitting it with that Cursed Flame, and it died. I didn't really get anything good from Plantera. I usually just get stuff from other classes. This is when I finally wanted to get some chlorophyte armor, but this was a huge mistake. See, with just Plantera dying, unlocked ectoplasm from being gathered in the dungeon. So really, I should have just went for Spectre armor, but I actually just got the chlorophyte set straight after. So I had to go get more chlorophyte so I could make the Spectre armor. I know, it's stupid. But at least now I know for next time. I explored the temple, finally made some Spectre armor, and tried to also learn hoiking. And if you couldn't tell, I had some kind of trouble with it, but I eventually got it to work. I buffed up and finally spawned in Golem. At this point, I think I kind of forgot about what weapons I could get because I still used the Cursed Flame. Don't get me wrong, it still did pretty decent damage, but it isn't better than some of the stuff that I could have gotten at this time. I kept moving left and right to dodge Golem's attacks, and using the Cursed Flame paired with the Spectre armor and the Rainbow Gun did pretty significant damage, which pretty much carried on all the way until its second phase. He got low to the point where he started using lasers and his fists started popping out more frequently. I got his fists and now it was just the main body. It was kinda hard to see with all these cursed flame bolts going around, but Golem's attacks are pretty easy to dodge once you get into a rhythm. All you gotta do is just look out for those fireballs because they could ricochet into you. And with a bit more perseverance, it was finally second phase where his head detached, and now it was time to kill his main body. The ricocheted bullets and the rainbow gun did significant damage at this phase, and it was just a matter of endurance whether I can survive these lasers and bullets. I did get pretty low however, but I persevered and I managed to dodge this attack and finally killed Golem. This however is where it started to go all downhill. Of course I tried to refight Golem since he never wants to drop the Drax for me. I don't know why. I don't even need it, but I just want it. I also wanted the Eye of the Golem, but of course he never drops it. So I retried him a bunch of times, and every single time I failed. I don't know. I hate this boss. And you know what the worst thing about this was? This was entirely my fault because I could have gotten better weapons. I could have gotten better stuff instead of just trying to refight this guy every single time. Honestly, talking about searching for a new weapon, I spawned in the Pumpkin Moon, which was probably not the best one to get a new mage weapon, but I did get this Bat Scepter, which was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It was homing, which was nice. After beating the Pumpkin Moon, I did try and get the Ice Cream Blizzard Staff, but I just couldn't get it. Bro, I kept dying to these goddamn flipping Everscream and Santa link up thing, bro. I don't know how. To be fair, I killed like 5 Everscreams and it didn't even drop the Razor Pine, which is another mage weapon. After that, I did kind of do a repeat of things. I tried to kill Golem, couldn't do that. I also tried to fight the Lunatic Cultist. I couldn't even beat the Lunatic Cultist, bro. Whoa. I know. But then I started to go for this one weapon that would change everything. The Mega Man Cannon. I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it's called. But the Mega Man Cannon. That, if you didn't know, drops from the Martian Madness event. And after 8 minutes of pure torture, I looked around to see if I had gotten it. And I did. Thank God. The worst thing is, I couldn't even kill a goddamn UFO boss. I couldn't even kill it. I straight up went into a slump. It was crazy. But at this moment, I was kind of stuck on what to do. Like, should I go straight to the Lunatic Cultist? Should I go fight Duke Fishron to get better weapons? Should I try fight Golem again so I can get a good accessory? Like, I was really stuck in between of what to do. And after bouncing around doing those things, I came to a conclusion that I should try and get the Razor Typhoon. Or even the Fishron wings. Those would have been nice. Which, if you didn't know, drops from Duke Fishron. But the problem is his third phase, which I have a trouble adapting to. Although I did manage to beat him the first time, I didn't get anything good. And then most of the attempts after that, I also kept dying. To pass some time, I also made my first asphalt platform. For the upcoming Moonlord fight, you know, I wanted to test it out. I did grind out Fishron a few more times, and I managed to kill him twice, but he did not drop the items I want. Don't you just hate when it doesn't drop things for your class? Oh my god. That's 2 fucking tsunamis now. And you know what? It's a hint on what my next video is gonna be. Of course it's gonna be a ranger playthrough, but it's not gonna be a typical ranger playthrough, okay? I'm done with this master mode stuff. I'm gonna level up. So if you wanna see that video, hit the like and subscribe. It will be certainly one to watch. It did drop the bubble gun, which is pretty good, but it's not the item that I was looking for. And then after that, I tried to do the Empress of Light, because I thought, why not? You know, I might as well try attempt her. But, of course, I can't dodge for shit.
Let's go through a checklist since then. You died to the Empress, typical. You beat Fishone again, wow. You died to the Lunatic Cultist, is that it? Nope, there's more. Let's see. Died to a Hallow enemy, just when you think it couldn't get worse. Solar Eclipse, died to Plantera, yikes. Got revenge on Plantera. Ooh, died again to Plantera. Died again, and again. Wow, fought the Destroyer. You bully. Frost Moon. And that's it. Alright, I've come to a conclusion.
Uninstall now. Buddy, stop interrupting my video. Alright, after that series of misfortunate events, it was finally time to face the music and fight the Lunatic Cultist. The main weapon I used was the Mega Man cannon, since the Bat Scepter was pretty bad for this fight. If you didn't know, the Lunatic Cultist switches between spells that he throws at you, which could be the ice thing, the lightning thing, the fire thing, which are all relatively easy to dodge. The most important spell is when he tries to summon a dragon, but you can stop this if you hit the correct character, and that's all there is about that fight. There is a new spell he implements at second phase which can catch you off guard, but honestly that is all you need to do for this fight. And after 40 seconds of dodging his projectiles, I beat him. And now it's time for the pillars. And finally, it was time to fight the Moon Lord. He spawned in, and I immediately ran away to hit him with the Nebula Blaze. And since it does homing attacks, I didn't really need to care about where I aimed. The only thing I needed to do was keep running away, keep hitting him, and dodging whenever he did his other attacks, such as that laser. And I unfortunately got clipped. But I didn't give up, because on the next attempt, this happened. I buffed up, and with these accessories, I spawned him in. I did the same strat as when I first came in. I kept running away and hitting him with that Nebula Blaze. And then I had some sort of a timing. Whenever I ran away and he spawned back in twice or 3 times, I would go up because that's when he would strike again with his laser. I switched to the other side and started hitting his other eyeball. I tried to get the eyes down to a similar level of HP, so I could ease into second phase pretty easy, which was kinda tricky since the eye on his forehead is pretty hard to aim. I kept doing damage and kept running away. I mistimed my next jump and got hit by the laser, which did big damage, but I managed to heal. And while shooting my Nebula Blazes, a true eye did pop out, which led to me getting clipped, so I had to heal again. I did get a bad timing on this eye laser, but I luckily managed to dodge it with my Spectre armor. I kept running away and using the nurse whenever I needed, and kept running away and using the Nebula Blaze. I also managed to dodge this eye laser, which is kinda lucky. I did get clipped by another laser, but I managed to get 2 eyes out, and now it was just his forehead. I managed to get that out as well, and now it's just the core in his chest. And now it's just a matter of dodging his projectiles, which were pretty easy to do. And finally, I killed the Moon Lord. In 2 tries. You know what, that's better than last time. Last time I took like 20 tries, I think, 20 plus tries. Hey, thankfully I got it down in 2. And that is the Mage run completed. But I did want to do 2 more things before I ended the playthrough. I wanted to see what the last 2 end game items were. So I kept grinding the Moonlord until it finally dropped one of the items, the last prism, which is so OP. Oh my god. I mean, it is the pinnacle of the Mage items. And then you got its little brother, the Lunar Flare. I tested them both out on Moonlord again, and the Lunar Flare is kind of mid, I'm sorry. I tested it out, yeah. But the last prism, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for watching this playthrough. You know, shout out to you if you actually made it this far. Peace.